Hey, what's up guys, TechTitan here, and I am back again with a brand new video. Welcome back to the channel. Before I begin, as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching this one. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so, and check out previous videos if you haven't already done so. Also, if you want to keep up with me, follow me somewhere else. I'll leave my Twitter username right somewhere here, and I'll leave a link to it in the description. So follow me there. If you have any questions, I'll answer them over there. But yeah, so in today's video, I actually want to talk about the iPhone, and I don't really make a lot of iPhone videos. So here's one. So in this one, I actually want to talk about the best iPhone, the best kind of budget iPhone to get in 2018. And the price goes from about $120 to about like $350 to $400. So yeah, these are the options. So we have the 5S, and I'll talk about this in a little bit too. The 6 Plus, 6S Plus, and this is also the 6 in gold. I just wanted to put that in display alongside the box. But yeah, so let's start with the 5S. So the 5S is a pretty old phone. Yeah, this phone has been out for a while. Funny enough, it still supports the current iOS version, so that's a plus from Apple. So it's currently running iOS 11, and the experience is smooth. I mean, it's not lagging, it's not slow, but I guess when you get into the more heavy tasks, so that's where the A7 chip will take a hit, and it will show how much it aged. But like everyday tasks, I mean, it's really smooth, so it's really good for that. So the camera on here is not top notch, but it's not horrible either. I mean, it's still perfectly usable in 2018. So the reason I mentioned this is because there's another version of this phone, and I'm sure you guys probably heard of it. If not, I'll tell it to you right now. So it's called the iPhone SE, and the iPhone SE is basically the iPhone 6S in a smaller version. So basically the iPhone SE is the iPhone 6S with all the components. The same components from the iPhone 6S are carried on to the iPhone SE, and they're put in this small package. So for people who are still into small phones like this type 4-inch size phones, I would kind of skip the 5S and go for the SE, because as I was doing my research, the price difference is not really that far apart. So the iPhone SE would run you about, I don't know, like $150. The iPhone 5S would run you about $129. Now prices can change, and I'll put in the description the current prices, and if I find better deals, I'll include them in the description. So yeah, that's the story behind the 5S/SE. If you're looking for a premium phone, because this design is really good and it's really solid still in 2018. The display is, to me, the weakness. So I guess this phone is meant for people who are still into small displays. So watching media on it is not really that good to me, but anything else like productivity wise, where you use the phone app, messaging app, browsing the web, calendar, I guess, the camera, maps, your GPS, it's still usable. News, you can still read your content perfectly fine. But for media consumption, I would skip this one. It's still good for social media too. I mean, Snapchat works on here perfectly, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all that. So yeah, let's put that to the side and talk about the iPhone 6. Now the iPhone 6, 6S, 7, 8, the front looks pretty identical. So yeah, so the iPhone 6 basically is Apple's first kind of large phone. So this one is a 4.7-inch display, and it has an 8-megapixel camera on the back, which surprisingly works pretty well in 2018. Now speed-wise, it's also pretty usable. Now I know with the whole battery issues where people's phone has slowed down, so if you have that issue, I would swap out the battery with Apple as soon as possible, especially since they have the $29 battery swap offer. So if you have a problem with the battery, real quick, since we're talking, you can go to the settings. If you go to battery, so it will show you like there was a message. I had an iPhone previously where it showed that message that would say that your battery may need to be serviced. So if you get that message, I would swap out the battery, and you will see how much of a difference that makes. So yeah, the iPhone 6 is a really nice, compelling package, but it has some drawbacks. So it does show its age. When you play games on here, it kind of lags, and it's kind of, I don't know, it kind of slows down a bit from time to time. It crashes also quite a bit, just like the 5S. The SE, on the other hand, does not, and I don't have the SE right now, but when I used it, the SE did not really crash at all. So yeah, the 6 is still a really good phone, and it's way better for media consumption, like watching movies, watching YouTube, or any type of media consumption. Way better than the 5S and its smaller screen. And like I said, the camera is still pretty good. It's improved. It's more improved than the 5S. It has better image processing thanks to the A8 chip. But the front-facing camera is still identical, and it's meh. It's like a 2 megapixel camera. I think it was like 1.8, something like that. I'll put it somewhere in the screen. But yeah, so the iPhone 6 is still hanging on strong in 2018. Okay, so that's the story behind the iPhone 6. So let's move on to the 6 Plus. So the 6 Plus brings a 1080p display, whereas the, I believe, so the 5S has a sub 7 LS. So the iPhone 5S has a 640p display. The iPhone 7, the iPhone 6, see, even I mistake this for the iPhone 7. The iPhone 6 has a little over 720p. That was kind of sad in 2014. I wish this was 1080. But the iPhone 6 Plus, on the other hand, has the best display out of those two, which runs you at a 1080p display at 401 ppi. But in terms of specs, it's pretty identical to the iPhone 6. Nothing really changes. Nothing really changes except for two things: the display size, which also includes resolution, as well as the camera. Now, not image quality, but it does add optical image stabilization, which improves stabilization. So the optical image stabilization helps out with video and also helps out with clearer pictures. So yeah, that's the only real difference between these two. And I'll talk about prices at the end. So the iPhone 6s Plus, which is my phone of choice and the current phone that is currently my daily driver. So the iPhone 6s Plus is an improvement, not in design, but in a lot of other different ways. One of them being speed. This phone is blazing fast. I'm talking about opening apps is really snappy, closing them is as snappy. Also, the display is the same, nothing really changes there, but the camera also gets an upgrade. It's a 12 megapixel sensor that shoots really good pictures in 2018, so that's thumbs up for Apple. Also, it does have optical image stabilization like the previous 6 Plus, but includes 4K video recording. Now, to take advantage of that, I would go with the higher storage. So this one right here is 64 gigabytes. So now, which one of these would you choose? So I'll tell you right now. If we're talking about between the 5S/SE and the 6S Plus, this comes down honestly to personal preference, because like I said, the 6S Plus and the SE, the only real difference, actually there are a couple of differences, but they're very minor except for one. So the differences first let's talk about the obvious differences, which are the display size. So the display size and design. Personally, I actually like the 5S/SE's design. To me, it looks better, but that's personal preference. So that's number one, design. The second thing that are different about those is the display size and resolution. The 6S Plus for media consumption is way better than the iPhone 5S/SE. So the other difference between the iPhone SE, and this is the 5S by the way, and this is 6S Plus, but the difference between the SE and the 6S Plus is the front-facing camera. The front-facing camera on the SE is the same from the 5S, so that's kind of it's not a downgrade, but it sure as hell is not an upgrade. So yeah, but if we're talking about the 5S/SE and the 6, if you care about speed, better camera, then I would go with the SE. But if screen size is more important to you because you consume media a lot, then I would go with the 6. You're sacrificing a little bit on camera quality and speed and performance, but if you're willing to make that sacrifice for the bigger screen, then go ahead and do so. So 6 Plus, like I said, the only difference is screen resolution, screen size, and the fact that the iPhone 6 Plus has optical image stabilization. Oh, and I forgot to mention that it does have the bigger battery because it is bigger. So yeah. So now 6 Plus and 6S Plus. Obviously, to me, the 6S Plus is a way more compelling package than the 6 Plus because you're getting performance. You're getting it's not a better battery life. The battery life on both of them is the same for the most part. But so I'm getting a better camera, a faster phone, way faster phone, and 3D Touch, which I use from time to time. Not really my favorite. I don't really use it a lot, but it's there and it comes in handy from time to time. So here are kind of the price cut downs, and this is a range. This is not 100% accurate because prices change from time to time. So let's start with the iPhone 5S. The iPhone 5S starts at around like what, about $120. But like I said, if you bring your budget up to what, around $180 to $200, you can get the iPhone SE. Let's talk about the pricing for the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. So the iPhone 6 will run you a little bit higher than the iPhone SE. I guess more people care about the screen size, but like I said, it's all up to you and it's all up to personal preference what you prefer. So the iPhone 6 can run you from 180 to 250. It depends on the it depends on current pricing and the storage, but yeah. So the iPhone 6 Plus is going to be a little bit higher. So that would go from 265 to 300, believe it or not, in 2018. So again, that comes down to storage, current pricing, and things like that. Now the iPhone 6S, the regular 6S, which will cost you around kind of similar pricing to the 6 Plus, like $260 to $300. Now the iPhone 6S Plus, which is my phone of choice, will run you from $330 to $400. So yeah, to me personally, what makes sense is getting the iPhone 6S Plus or the iPhone SE, because honestly, these would be better for the long run. If you're looking for like a phone that will last you a year or two or more than that, this is the one to get. Now, because the 6 and 6 Plus and even the 5S, they're gonna be outdated soon. I don't know how many more software upgrades they will get in the future, so they will be outdated really soon. I think the 5S might be outdated this year, but the SE and the 6S Plus would get more updates in the future. So yeah, that's kind of the rundown. Me personally, like I said, I have the iPhone 6S Plus and that's what I prefer. The 6 and 6 Plus, I don't know, they're kind of the middle ground, but at the same time, it's not kind of like, it's not really, I don't know how much longer these three phones will get software updates. Now, if you're thinking about getting the 7 Plus over the 6S Plus, the real difference, the real noticeable difference would be the display. So the display is a little bit better than the iPhone 6S Plus. It's more calibrated. It has a wider color gamut. It does have the dual camera and the processing speed, but like I said, the A9 chip is still a beast of a processor. Now the A10 Fusion chip is also a beast of a processor, but you kind of lose the headphone jack over that. So I don't know, kind of compromises. I will also leave the iPhone 7 Plus prices down in the description, right below the like button. But yeah, let me wrap it up here. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button and like this video and follow me on Twitter. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.